Hello, 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 hello. Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining. I can see you all coming in. Okay, fantastic. Hey, 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 hey. Good to see you. I can see our special guest is here as well. I shall do the intro and then let him in. So, hello everyone, and welcome to Social Sundays with Ghana.365. My name is Raquel Apia, and I will be hosting this evening's live. I am so excited. We have a super special guest for our second ever Social Sundays. But before we begin, just wanted to let you know a bit about the platform Ghana 365. It's a platform that seeks to showcase the best of Africa and its diasporans. Us in the diaspora, those on the ground in Ghana, on the motherland. We are all about showcasing the best of Ghana. This is what this platform is all about. You can check us out at Ghana-365.com as well and sign up to our newsletter to keep up to date with all the amazing things that we are doing. We love sharing the best places to eat, sleep, and live in Ghana. Well, all things Ghana, 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 Ghana. Very proud Ghanaians. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to bring on our special guest. Right. Let's see. The man himself. Hello. Hello.
Raquel, how you doing? Raquel, how you doing?
I'm good. How are
Good.
you,
Yeah, I'm
Kwabena?
fine.
Good to have you. Thank you so much
Thank you
for
so
being
much to
here
you.
today. Listen, the people are excited. The comments are already going off. I'm seeing fire, applause, emojis, everything.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. They're showing lots of love.
Thank
But
you for
before we
having
get,
me.
no problem, absolute pleasure. Before we get into it, I just want to, for those who may not have come across you and what you do, I'm just going to, give a brief bio, but obviously we'll get into it more. So, for those who don't know, we have Kwabena Amoetem, who hails from Ijisu in the Ishanti region, the hometown of Ya Asantwa. And it was here he did his first land deal. So it is, I guess, no surprise that he's the visionary and founder behind Asase, a land acquisition, due diligence, growth, and strategy company. He has a master's level graduate from UCL and has been a C-level executive in the regulated online sports betting and casino industry for 10 years in the UK. And he's also a property and business investor in London. So he's owned and operated telecom call centers in the UK. And he, like I said before, he has vast experience in land matters in Ghana and has been investing himself in land for over 20 years. And what we love about him is that he's fiercely passionate and he's a proud African and Ghanaian, and he has traveled the world, and he sees Asase and the responsibility that goes with it as part of his calling and obligation. Like, that's just amazing. It's just power, literally. That's all I think of when I read that bio, honestly. So yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. So I've read that long bio, of all the amazing things you've done, but who is Kwab?
Yeah, Kwabena is, I'm a 39-year-old Ghanaian living in London, born and raised in London. And as the bio said, I'm very, very passionate about a few things in my life, namely my family, and then also Ghana. And not just Ghana, I class myself as an African before I'm a Ghanaian. So like many of us, I was born outside. I've had a pretty cool life in London. Those of you that are not living in London, London's an incredible city. People live here generally in harmony. You get a chance to mix with lots of different backgrounds, but the fact remains you're still a foreigner in foreign lands. And some of us are from such an incredible place like Ghana and other African nations that I always feel that it's very, very important that we remember our heritage and we pay due respect to that. So As you said, I've had quite a long career in the corporate world. I was a qualified pharmacist many, many moons ago. Did that probably 15, 16 years ago. I practiced for about 7 years. And then I went into the online sports betting industry and the casino industry. But I've always known that land is probably going to be somewhere that I settle in the sort of latter half of my career.
Yeah. So yeah, how did that come about? Because you know you have a corporate background. You're based in London. How you know have you managed to get yourself all the way in Africa and dealing in land now?
Yeah, you know, property has been in my blood for a long, long time. Probably my brothers were on this call from the age of sort of 4 or 5. Our earliest memories would go with our parents to their properties that they had in North London. So from time immemorial, I just remember always doing things related to property, renting, tenants. And I've been obviously going to Ghana for about 22 years now consistently. And land is something that I don't know, I've always got a big, big passion about. So over and above the sort of estate development, and it was my granddad in '98 that sort of explained to me the importance of ownership of land. It was me and my other brother, and he explained that if we can, we should always try and obtain and acquire land in Ghana. Because the potential there is pretty huge.
Fantastic, fantastic. So that's how you've come to set up.
Yep.
That's it. Am I saying it right?
You're saying it pretty wrong. It's Asasi.
And
Asasi actually, yeah, Asasi is actually the tree word for land. Some people call it Mother Earth.
Okay.
So it was pretty poignant, and it was a good choice of name. Obviously, we've spelled it phonetically so that people that don't speak Tree can sort of pronounce it. Hopefully pretty right. But yeah, Asasi means land. Asasi means Mother Earth. Mother Earth is the thing that sort of brings forth life. It brings forth all the things that we eat. It brings forth the places that we live. So it's extremely important that we have our share, and we know the history of Africa. Yeah. So often our land has been disposed of in the wrong way, and also to foreigners. So it's important that some of us make the effort to safeguard it for our future generations.
I love that. I love that. And, you know, I see you doing that with the projects, you know, that you're working on in Ghana, and we will come onto those projects. But I mean, what comes to mind is even down to road naming.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, tell us about that process and how you think about it.
Yeah, that project came about sort of early last year. I'm building a property in Ghana. And one of the things I feel is that a lot of people build houses and they sort of concentrate, they've got a tunnel vision on themselves, and they never really want to put anything in the area that's long lasting. And for those of us that go to Ghana a lot, we know that one of the main things that annoys us is that it's very hard to find places and people. It's a big, big drain on our efficiency in Africa. Obviously, Ghana, the central areas, the capital, the sort of centre of town, all the roads are named. But as soon as you go slightly into the suburbs, people haven't made the effort. The government and the municipal councils haven't made the effort. So I said to myself, that will be something that I can put down in that area. The area is called 24 Hills. So you have sort of East Legon Hills at the north end, and you've got 24 Hills on the southern end.
Okay.
And, yeah, I took the opportunity and I took the initiative. I think I named about 30 roads. I wasn't going to name them after anybody that didn't deserve the credit. We've got so many soldiers, so many heroes and sheroes in our community. Some of them have passed, but they're still living. And some of these individuals never had a chance to visit Mother Africa. So as far as I was concerned, this was a nice way to honour them and to make sure that they live forever. And I think the most important thing with road naming is that I had this sort of vision or inspiration that especially the children that live in the area, some of these names would be English names, foreign names, and we put signboards up on every single road name. So we described what these individuals had done for us. And I hope that the children, as they grow old and they see these names, hopefully they will inspire them to emulate some of these individuals, because they're serious, serious OGs. These are people that have gone to war for us. They're scholars, historians, politicians, military people, intellects, people that have just done justice by our community. So I wanted to honour them. And we managed to get some of them onto Google Maps, someone onto Iron Maps. So now, if you're going to the area, you've got Malcolm X, you've got Marcus Garvey, you've got Walter Rodney, you've got Francis Cress-Welsing, you've got Chancellor Williams, you've got Fela Kuti, you've got Amos Wilson, you've got all the OGs that deserve the credit, and they're there. So yeah, that was a gift to the community, as it were.
That is amazing, and just proves the point that, you know, we need, in order to exercise this type of power and influence, you know, to bring the changes we want to see, you know, we have to go back. We have to acquire. We must own.
Yeah.
And so that is, you know, exactly the point of Asasi. So if you can just tell us more about Asasi and your current project that you have going on in Pram Pram.
Yeah, Asasi is first and foremost, put the land aside. It's rooted in ideology. And the ideology says this, that as long as you're a black man or woman, your heritage is in Africa. And with everything happening in the Western world, there's what I call risk here. We have great life here. We have the trinkets of this society, but it's rooted in the ideology that says that if you're able to, at some point in your lifetime, you definitely should consider owning land in Ghana, maybe building, providing some sort of insurance for your children and your grandchildren. You know, the so-called civilized nations and people of this world, they don't live for today or tomorrow. Yeah. They live for 2, 3, 4 generations down the line. Yeah. So if you have that sort of vision, you care about your grandchildren, you care about your great-grandchildren, you care about your nieces and nephews. Yeah. And therefore, I feel like if people are able to, if people have that spirit, then why shouldn't they have a way to own land in Ghana? Now, it doesn't just apply to Ghana. I know many of the people watching this are not from Ghana, and they're from the West Indies or they're from Nigeria, but Africa is for us. Yeah. And for me, it's like, I feel like owning land back home is very, very difficult. It's quite challenging, very challenging. Yeah. My job and the team's job is to make it look easy in a way, but to provide a path. The other important thing is that Asasi is not just me. It's a team of people. I've got some very, very serious people working with me, people that care about us and people that want to do justice in their lifetime. And for me, land is my contribution, my way of contributing to that. You contribute to that. Ghana 365 contribute to that. And there's many other people that contribute to this wider struggle and this wider effort. Yeah. But, there is no doubt that Ghana has a fantastic future. It's a beautiful place. So it was early last year that I decided that it was something I wanted to do seriously. So from probably about April, May, we started planning. I've got staff in Ghana. I've got some staff here in London. I've got people in America. I've got someone in Nigeria. I have a Nigerian sister working for me in Ghana, and we all contribute to trying to do justice by this offering, service, product. So there's 4 sites, but the one that I'm concentrating on is in Pram Pram. Right. It's the one I can't spread myself too thin. Yeah. And I have to make sure that the effort goes into the place which I think has the best value long term. And Pram Pram's badass. It's as simple as that. People that go to Ghana, we party in Accra. We go to Tema sometimes. The people that really know Ghana, we go and party in Tema, and that's all well and good. But the reality is, Accra is very, very expensive. It's very difficult to find land. Tema's pretty choked. Again, all the land is gone. Yeah. So like most of us that live in major cities, you have to consider like your options going further out. Yeah. And even most of us that have bought property wherever we are, we always look back and say we should have probably gone a couple of, like a mile or 2 even further out to get value, because everywhere is developing so quickly. Yes. So Pram Pram is a coastal town. It's a beach town. So many people want to live by the coast. You know what the coastal people are like. They're very chilled, it's very clean, and there's new money there. So it means that there's young people coming in with fresh ideas and new ideologies to build up the community in a good way. So we will be bringing a lot of people back home, and it's a blessed project.
Amazing. Sounds amazing. I'm sold just off of that. So can you break down the offerings? So I understand when land is sold, it's sold as a half plot and as a full plot. What does that look like in terms of measurements? What can I get for a half plot? What can I build on it? How does it all work?
Yeah, maybe I'll take it back a step and just to confirm for everybody that if you're a foreigner, you don't have a Ghanaian passport, you are absolutely legally able to own land in Ghana. That's the first thing. The second thing is that for all intents and purposes, land is sold in Ghana on a leasehold basis.
Okay.
So even here, if you buy a property, if you buy a house, it's freehold. But normally if you're buying a flat or an apartment, you're buying a lease, and you have the option to stay in that place for however long the lease is. But Ghana is all land in Ghana for all intents and purposes. So leasehold, there's a few pockets of freehold, but it's extremely rare, and I don't deal in that type of land.
Okay.
So you have the option of acquiring, as you mentioned. I sell plots, half plots, and full plots.
Right.
I sell half plots because obviously it's more affordable for people to consider. But more importantly, it's actually now becoming pretty much the standard in Ghana, because people have clocked that if you're buying a half plot and you're sensible with your design, you can build an incredible structure. You can build a wicked house that serves your purposes, that's fit for purpose. Okay. So I feel like it would be pretty naive of us to force the market to go into 1 or 2 plots as a minimum. It obviously depends on your taste. It depends on your plan. Yeah. Because all of us have got to have a plan as individuals and as a community. But in a family household, as an individual, you need to have a plan. You need to know what you need for the next 20, 30, 40 years. You should be able to extrapolate where you are and say, right, what's going to work for me? So half a plot is at 325 square meters. A full plot is 650, which is double the size. And just to break that down for you again in feet terms, a plot in Ghana, the standard plots are 100 by 70 feet. Okay. Now, you say these measurements, and a lot of people are just awful with measurements and distance. Yeah. What does it really mean? So I always knew that a big sort of community or a big market of mine would be in America. So how we've compared it is to a tennis court or a basketball court. Most of us have attempted to play a game of tennis in our lifetime. Most of us have seen a basketball court or gone to a b-ball game. And a basketball court is 437 square meters. So a full plot is 650 square meters. It's 40% bigger than a basketball court, NBA standard court. So those people that have been to an NBA game, whatever you saw, is 40% bigger than that. In terms of the half plots, a tennis court is 260 square meters. And a half plot is 325 square meters. So again, it's about 22% bigger than a tennis court. So that's the way we've tried to, because obviously I'm a football fan. I couldn't really compare it to a soccer pitch. It's not really going to flow. So those are the sort of comparisons in terms of size. And I think for people that want to visualize that, obviously we have collateral, marketing collateral, a brochure for the people that have the initiative to take the step and come to our website and register their interest. There's a mechanism which sends them various pieces of information. One of those information is a brochure which shows how the comparison is, and that's a visual representation of it. That's super helpful. That's an amazing visual. I've never had that before, so that really helps to put things in context. For sure. Okay, so you know, you're clearly stuck in, you know, with things in Ghana. You're doing business, you know, and you're a massive patriot. You're a proud Ghanaian, but what are the challenges you're facing doing business in Ghana? Yeah, I think it's a cultural thing. You have to have the staying power. You've got to have the passion. You've got to have the love. You've got to have the why. If the why is strong, you will never doubt, you will never shake in terms of what you're doing. Because we are used to things working in a certain way here. Just people operating in the way professionally which we deem to be the norm. But when you go to Ghana, and I'm sure it's the same across Africa, people operate in a different way. So it becomes very frustrating when people don't turn up on time for meetings. Oh, I'm coming at 8 o'clock. No problem, I'm going to be ready. If you're going to be late, just let me know. No problem, boss, no problem. Hour and a half later, you're screaming on the phone, where are you? That happens all the time. And I suppose if you fight against that system, you'll burn up. So that's one thing you learn. The other thing is obviously trust and integrity. It takes a long time to build solid relationships with people. I'm in Ghana obviously all the time. I tend to go 3-4 times a year. I've been doing that for many years. So that's obviously enabled me to sort of weed out the crap and move with the people that are honest and that are straight shooters.
Yeah.
I think that you have to be aggressive in a reasonable way to fight for what you want and fight for what's yours.
Yeah.
And there's a saying that my dad always said to me in Ghana, it's like when you're doing business, the minute you trust is sometimes the minute you lost. So you go in with a very clean pair of eyes and you take things on face value, but you operate with your due diligence, and you've got to have your head screwed on. But it's not easy. It's not easy at all. But the rewards for people that, you know, there's so many great businessmen and women in Africa. The market is so big. We've got the youngest demographic in the world. We've got the numbers. Yeah. Ghana's a relatively small country, relatively. I mean, it's 30 million unofficially. Yeah. We've got powerhouses like Nigeria, got 250, 260 million people. The market is huge. So over the next 5, 10, 15 years, as the internet sort of facilitates across West Africa, as logistics facilitate across West Africa, the market for people doing business, services and products is far bigger than the European Union, put it that way. It's very, very big.
Very, very. Okay. So we've got some actual questions coming through.
Yeah, see, I'm trying to follow, but it's a bit tricky.
It is so tricky. Like, the comments are popping off like crazy. I can't even keep up myself. I keep looking down, trying to, but but it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
So, okay. Somebody has asked, do you sell homes as well?
Yeah, so this is an important point. You know, you can try and be the best at everything, and you can claim to be the best at everything, but reality dictates that's not often true. What we specialize in, what we want to be the best in, is selling land. If you don't have the land, you got nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. So land is the most important thing. That's where all of our focus is on it as a team. The business is 6 months old. It will evolve. It will manifest into what it should be. But I know for sure that I want to be the best at selling land in Ghana, for sure. But you can't just sell land and then not offer the option for people to design their homes, build their homes. So the secondary and the tertiary service we have, the first thing is to design a home. Now, the way I look at it is, as I said a few minutes ago, everyone has a different dynamic in their household. Some people are single, some people are engaged, they've got kids, whatever. But you have to think what's good for you. So the starting position of the company was to offer people the option to design their own homes, their own buildings, bespoke. So I have an architect, you provide a scope, and we will bring that vision to life for you because that works for you, okay? So once that design is done, it's full designs, your building plans, your plumbing, your electrical drawings. We have obviously the option to give you your building permits. That's the first thing. And when you've got the land and you see your design for the first time, that's when you really get energized. And then I would say to people, right now it comes to proper planning. Okay. Because so many of us don't have lumps of cash sitting in places to go and dump somewhere 2,000-3,000 miles away. But if you don't start, you can't finish. Once you've got your designs, then the next step is to build. Okay. So I've got an incredible set of builders, people that don't blow smoke up your ass, sorry to say, because that's another thing. If you're building in Africa, we've all had it. Our parents have been sending money to our uncles and our cousins, and they say, oh, Uncle, I bought 100 bags of cement, but really he's bought 100, he's using 30 to build his own house. Oh, God. So the next thing is to make sure that we've got an absolutely sort of locked on process, that people have clear-cut accountability of what they're paying for, why they're paying for it. And then it's a matter of, again, planning your various stages. The brains of a building is the foundation. If you don't get the foundation right, and that's obviously to be the starting position, the brains is everything. The foundation is like 40-45% of the build. If you don't get that right, you're done. Right. So the foundation obviously is the first step. What you see in terms of a house, like all the brickwork and the block work, we call it, that's nothing. It's absolutely light work. But if you don't get the foundation locked on, some people are building houses, they're very low to the ground. People are not using damp cores. Basic things you would expect, people don't do. So the build services come as the third offering. And there's other things that the company will do in and around the property space. I can get into various, I suppose, pockets of this real estate industry, but I'm trying to keep my head screwed on to say that if you try and do too much too soon, you will fold. Things like rentals, So we're about to now start redeveloping our first rental property.
Okay.
which is for people that are going home, because so many people are going home now, especially people that have the flexibility, young people, single people, and they find it difficult to get somewhere to rent. So we want to provide that offering where somebody can come in for short stays, 2 months, 3 months, at a reasonable price, commercially viable for the company, obviously, but somewhere where they're not going to get told, oh, you've got to pay 2 years rent. It's ridiculous. So in terms of selling houses as an agent, most people are agents, we can get into all of that. But right now, that's not the business model.
You have your specialism. But what I love about Asasi is that if you buy from Asasi, you aren't just left alone. You're able to direct them to the right people.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we have them in house, and where there's skill sets that we don't have. So, for example, some of my customers have asked for things like container homes, various types of new type of buildings. We will verify them. I will verify that the individual is stand up, that he speaks the truth, and that his quality of work is what it should be. And once I'm convinced, then I will link them to the people that want that type of service if I don't cover it, because obviously we're not going to be able to do everything. Yeah, that's the plan. I want to stand behind everything, because the buck stops with me.
Yeah, absolutely. And just on that, if you can go into being a land dealer and an agent, just to explain, you know, how you really are at the heart of it, and ensuring that, you know,
I'm glad you mentioned that, because it's something I always talk to people about. It's like people ask me, am I a real estate developer? And obviously, eventually I will be, God willing. But right now, I class myself as a land dealer. For me, it's a bit more exciting for me. I never wanted to be an agent. An agent is somebody that goes and takes other people's land and sells it on their behalf and takes a drink for doing it. But I never wanted to do that, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm then relying on somebody else to do justice and speak the truth and have the right land and being genuine, all the sort of stuff that I know is so important. I'm not prepared to take that risk. So all the land I sell, I own. So I'm in control of passing that parcel of land to a customer. And that, for me, is the defining aspect of being a dealer. I acquire land and then I pass it on. I don't take it from someone else.
Love it. Lovely. Love it. Love it. Love it. So, I mean, you touched, you know, on the fact that, you know, those of us in the diaspora, you know, we should be owning a piece of the motherland.
If you want.
Should we be moving back, do you think? Do you think that we need to move back in order to contribute to Africa's development?
Such a good question. We don't all have to move back. It's not actually practical. It might not even be needed.
Right.
Yeah? There's so much contribution that can be done for yourself and for the motherland. Being where you are at the end of the day, not everybody has to move back to prove that they're doing something for the motherland. I don't think that's an important notion, because I always talk about reality. The reality is, right now, most of us are entrenched in our normal jobs, day-to-day jobs. We've got family, we've got commitment, and we've got all that sort of stuff. It takes, like, you have to be in a very, very sweet spot to be able to take the big jump and move somewhere else, which many people are doing. But I do believe that so many of us can still contribute in whatever your passion is, whether it's music or entertainment or art or whatever. You can do that from here. And I feel like one of the big things that I always want to make important with any business that I do seriously in Ghana is my ability to do it from London as well. Because I've got a young family here. And I always want to make sure that it's a business that, using technology and using accountability, you can do it from anywhere. People call it digital nomads. You should be able to work from anywhere now with the internet. So I think, the contribution can be made from afar. But should you want a business in Africa, my advice is that, again, as part of your plan, people should probably say to themselves, okay, maybe over the next 18 months or 2 years, I'm going to try and go to Niger 3 times. I'm going to go to Kenya twice. I'm going to go to Ghana like 4 times. You know that you're going to have to invest your own money and your time and your emotion to take that step, because every time you go, you get a new reality and you meet people, you get new connections, and then the whole sum of parts become full. So I think that is an important point, because I remember as a friend of mine said to me, like, the only thing worse than the wrong plan is no plan. And for me, that always stuck with me. Canadian guy, smart Canadian, white you, said to me, the only thing worse than the wrong plan is no plan. Let's have a plan.
Love
It's
that.
okay if it's wrong. It's okay. But when you have a plan, you already put yourself in like the top 10, 15% of like humans on this planet. So
Yeah.
you're ahead of the game already.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what is your plan? Are you going to be heading out to Ghana on a permanent basis? What are you?
Yeah, for sure. That is my plan. And my plan is always, I've always been like this from when I'm young. I work my life in like 5-year segments. So this 5-year segment is very much for me to further create the environment and the foundation for myself as a spirit and for my family. Because I'm the head of my family. I've got children, I've got a wife. I have to have a plan that is suitable for them in conjunction with my wife. But clearly you have to have some sort of basis. So that is something that's not built up overnight. So the next 3 to 5 years is very much, I'm building my own house there, which will double up into something for our people. But it's a family house, it's a legacy project in Accra. So to complete that, to build the business, to learn, to teach, and to evolve. And hopefully within that period, I will then have the foundation, the option to be in Ghana full time. When I'm in Ghana full time, there's to continue this business, probably other businesses, but there's something greater and bigger down the line that I want to work towards. I'm 39 now, so I'm turning 40 very soon. And I think by 45, I'll be ready to start really doing some important stuff that hopefully will make a big difference to many more people.
Amazing, amazing. So inspiring also. We've got some more questions coming through, so I'm just going to select them. Okay, let's see. Do you see an emerging area that is predominantly populated by young diasporans?
Probably not, but obviously when we go home, there's always places we end up gravitating towards, usually because of party. Yes. Usually because we've got a friend that lives in this area. Some of these places we go to are quite frankly out of our budget, but we can aspire and we can dream. So I don't see like there's any one place. Like you have Santok, which is an area a lot of people are going to. Pram is an area people are going to. Abri, everyone that goes to Ghana that has the pleasure of going to Abri in the mountains, when you get to the mountainside, you see your city. It's pretty inspiring, but all of these things require a lot of money. Some of them, especially Abri, is very, very expensive up there. It's beautiful, but very, very expensive. But my philosophy is like, I never really want. I'm not someone that wants to be just with diasporans. As far as I'm concerned, everyone's my people.
Love that.
So, if you go to Ghana, you should be able to hang out with everybody. Yeah. Yeah. There's this thing about security risk and whatever, but my philosophy is you're not better or worse than anybody else. It's like you can learn from anybody, so you should be willing to sort of mix with anybody. If you have a preference in terms of location because of distance to whatever you're doing, that's fine. But your spirit should be at one. So when I'm in Ghana, and I'm like that anywhere I am in the world. I've traveled everywhere, Asia, South America, wherever I go, my spirit takes me, and I learn and I teach. So I feel like it's important for people to be able to mix anywhere. Yeah.
I mean, could you give us some more, I guess, hotspots, like up and coming areas that you've identified as you want to be? So Pram is obviously.
Pram obviously is incredible. That's the reason why I've done serious stuff there. Dodo was a beautiful place, very mountainous, very lush. People are now talking a lot about East Legon Hills. Which is in this wider Santot area. It's not actually that close to East Legon, but they've sort of colonized this name. It sounds pretty sexy, so people like it. So, but East Legon Hills is cool. These are new areas. These are areas that like 5, 6, 10 years ago were totally virgin areas. Some of these areas, if someone told you to move there, you'll be like, no way.
Exactly.
Now you can't get in there.
Exactly.
Then you've got places like Adenta, which is again pretty developed now, and quite expensive. That's north of Accra. Some people, because of family or friends, they hang out in places like Kaswa and Weja. Some people like that sort of Cape Coast type of feel. It all depends. I don't really want to pontificate to people about that, where all diasporans are going. All I can do is give an insight into what is viable in terms of in a reasonable way. I don't want to go and live somewhere that's in the bush. but I'm going to wait 30 years for it to develop. Those sort of places, you take your kids there, they'll be like, Daddy, what am I doing here? There's nothing to do. You take your wife there, she's like, you can't even go for a meal, you can't go to cinema. You don't want to make those sort of kamikaze moves because, oh, the land's like, I don't know, 500 quid.
Yeah.
I know places you can get land like in Kumasi, dirt cheap, like farm dirt, like silly numbers.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't want to live there unless you have that passion to go into agriculture, whatever.
Yeah.
Angie's mentioned in Takrady, again, beautiful place. But it all depends on what your setup is and where you want to be. Most of us are living in major cities in the West.
Yeah.
So there has to be like a balance between being somewhere that's got that little bit of spunk and is accessible to the things that are important for your lifestyle.
You're absolutely right. And just touching on the farming and agriculture stuff, typically, what is the minimum, I guess, plot size for an agricultural or farming project?
Yeah, do you know, I think someone told me the average farm size in Ghana, I think it was like 5 acres.
Okay.
5 or 10 acres was the average size of a farm.
Okay.
Historically.
Okay.
Most of us Ghanaians, all of us, I would say, all our families are from farming backgrounds. Some of the families were like in the bourgeoisie, very well educated, they went into law, medicine and the rest, but most of us, our grandparents actually powered our families through farming. So I think typically farms are at small scale.
Okay.
And I have a lot of people, and I even have designs to get into agriculture, but the way I always see it for myself is small pilot projects, maybe 1, 2, 3 acres, fail fast, learn, get the right workers, and then you go and find a bigger piece.
Okay.
I will be taking on some agriculture projects. We will do big pieces and then parcel them up in 10 or 20 acre sizes. And either I will lease them to people to come and do these pilot projects, or we will sell them to people in the right places. And obviously,
Can you clarify what 5 acres is to 1 plot?
Okay, so 1 acre.
Yes.
Again, this is quite a good question. When you go to Ghana, a lot of people say, oh, an acre, 4 plots.
Right.
An acre is not 4 plots.
Okay.
A true acre is 6.25 plots.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah? So if you're talking 10 acres, technically you're talking 60 plots. Yeah, and especially that would hold true for agriculture because you wouldn't have a road network. You would just have a big piece of land. There'll be no roads in between. And if you've got 10 acres, you're technically getting 62.5 plots.
Okay.
Yeah, like in geometry terms.
Wow.
In measurement terms. If you're buying land, big pieces, obviously you have to have some consideration for roads, which you would lose some of your plots.
Right.
But whether, and I always say this to people, where people come through me or anyone else, if someone says it's an acre, you just want it, they will usually try and lean you towards 4 plots.
Okay.
So you just want to always clarify, is it 4 plots or is it an acre?
Okay.
They will usually say it's an acre. And then they'll be like, but it's 4 plots, it's not.
Okay, that's helpful. That's very insightful. Okay, I'm gonna go back into the questions.
Yeah.
I've got, what do we hear? There are so many. Okay. Is this company owned by Ghanaian African people, not Chinese or European backed?
Yes, the company is owned by Ghanaians.
That's it. Thank you. No, you don't say. I think we've touched on this. Do you help buyers with building a wall around the land when they aren't able to develop immediately?
Yes. So what we do is we have, as part of the price, we demarcate the plot for a client. And what that means is this. You saw well and good buying a piece of land from somewhere. Mm-hmm. Land in itself all looks the same. Go to your local park, that's land. But how does someone know this particular area belongs to you? Yeah. Now, again, most people in Ghana, they'll put these tiny little pillars in. You can barely see them. They don't concrete them in the ground. Someone can come and remove them. Over time, you will go to areas and you don't even recognize. So what we do is, included in the price that we quote customers, is we go and install 7-foot concrete pillars all around the perimeter. Fantastic. And then again, most importantly, we put a placard. So the same material we use for the road signs, which is obviously weather resistant, it lasts forever. Yeah. We go and put your name, Miss R. Appiah, London, March 2021, bang. So that if someone comes, or you go, You
Yeah.
can see you got your plot number, you got your name,
Yeah.
you know that's yours.
Yes.
Because Raquel, nobody wants to buy land that belongs to somebody else. Yeah, there's a couple of different people talk about sort of encroachment and reselling, and that's so real. But a lot of people just buy land because that belongs to somebody else and they don't know. Yeah, you're not going to buy land that you know belongs to somebody that you shouldn't be buying from. But if there's no markers there, then obviously how are you supposed to know? You're then trusting someone else, and that's not going to fly. And then the other thing people do is that they don't want to do their due diligence. They don't want to spend the money, and they don't have the time to make sure that the land is genuine and they're dealing with the right people. So we demarcate plots, and you'll see some of the videos that we're putting up, and there'll be a lot more content to come. We've started that process. It's quite a big area, so we're going to make sure that everywhere is fully marked up, and as the customers come in, everyone gets their plots and it's all organised.
Lovely, 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 lovely. Okay, back to the questions.
There's a question here from Liza Bitty.
Yes.
She's asking me directly. Hi Lisa, I hope you're well. She's asking me directly what are the prices. And again, I just want to be very clear with the market here. We don't put our prices up on Instagram. Yeah, if you want something in life, my opinion, humbly and respectfully, is you've got to take a step. Yeah, and our step is to move people off Instagram, which we all know has its inherent risk. Come to the website. We've invested time, effort, and money to hopefully present it professionally. Submit your DLs. Be a pleasure to have your inquiry, and then there's a mechanism which will then expose and provide you with the insight of prices. Because obviously it's an important point. Now everyone wants to know how much these lands cost.
Yeah.
But for me, as a businessman, and as a patriot, I want to see the spirits that think to themselves, you know what, if I want land, if I want anything, let me take a step towards it. And that's literally just going on the website, reading, having a read of what's there, so you acclimatise yourself with the information and sending an inquiry.
Yeah.
That's how we move.
Beautiful. Okay. So, can you speak on the sites we offer outside of Accra, why they were chosen, and what property acquisitions are on the horizon?
Yeah, so that's actually for my team. So this is, we have 4 sites in total. So Dodowa, which is the area sort of mountainous, more for the people that wanted to feel like they're in the Bree. Again, it's on the sub. Bree's on the top end. You have this whole mountain strip that goes, it's miles and miles. Dodowa's on the southern side. We have an area called Chopoli, which is further on from Pram Pram. Chopoli and another site called Agator. Now, Chopoli and Agator are the areas which people tend to refer to as Airport City, because the air traffic coming into Ghana now, the sheer interest of people looking at Ghana, the government quite rightly accept that in the years to come, they have to have an option for a new international airport. Okay. Now, the site that's been earmarked for is a 60,000 acre site that the government have as state land. And people ask, okay, when is this airport going to come? And the honest answer, because we always have to speak the truth, is we do not know. Yeah. But I have official government documentation which shows specifically what they're going to be doing in that wider area. They call it actually the new Pram Pram airport, because Pram Pram is a little bit more sexy. They're tagging it to Pram Pram, but it's about a half hour away from Pram Pram. Okay. And obviously it's going to be a multi-use development or business centre, hotel. They're going to do work there. Okay. But I believe you're probably 5 to 10 years away from that happening. So those are the sort of 4 sites. Agator and Chopoli are very long-term bets. Right. They're places where if somebody said to me, oh, I want to buy and I'm going to build next year on that premise, I'll be saying to them, you've got to hold tight, because those areas are real virgin land. Those are areas that you buy for your kids. If you've got a 3-year-old and you buy in 20 years' time, your kid will be going to Ghana for Afro Nations, and they'll be like, Mum, Dad, you lot are just too shrewd for your own good. This area is wicked. I can't believe you had foresight. But they're slightly further out. So there's 4 sites. In terms of other areas that I'm looking into, I'm from Kumasi. Mm-hmm. I'm a Kumasi boy. I'm buying land in other people's manor, let's say. But I've got to make sure that I've got something in my own manor. That's it. Kumasi is real. Kumasi's really real. Kumasi's real Ghana. That's really, really real Ghana. And they're also developing their airport that airport should be ready. I think it's finishing in about 6 months.
Oh,
So it's
wow.
going to be an international airport now as opposed to a regional airport. They'll be doing flights directly from London to Kumasi. So
Wow.
Kumasi's had a lot of investment over the past sort of 5, 6, 7 years. And yeah, I'll be imminently looking to do work in Kumasi. But again, I have to make sure that, from my opinion, it has the right logistics, the right fundamentals. Because again, I know my brothers and sisters on the outside. I'm not trying to take them to bushy bush.
Yeah.
Bush is lovely, yeah, it's lovely, but it's got to have something a little bit different. It's got to be accessible. It's got to be right. And if I can't get that spot, then I'm not interested. So Kumasi will be the next natural destination. And then over and above that, in the years to come, so long as I have the right people, then I want to offer something to my brothers and sisters from Yard, from the Caribbean. Obviously, I can't go and do. I've been to Jamaica 4 times.
Wow.
It's a blessed black nation in this world, 100%. So my wife's Jamaican. It's a real place, and I definitely want to offer something there. And Nigeria as well. Nigeria is, I've never been, but I've been called to go there. I have to go to Nigeria. Nigeria is not a joke. Nigeria is the country where Nigeria's sorted itself out. Africa will start rising because they've got numbers, serious numbers, and they've got a lot of land. But I know my Nigerian brothers and sisters, they don't play. You've got to be ready to handle them, and you've got to be ready to do work with them. Otherwise, they will take your trousers down. It's as simple as that. So, all of these things, it's like you've got to be ready. But Nigeria's a blessed place.
Love that. Okay, so have we missed the boat on Kumasi then, with the airport, you know, like imminent within the next 6 months being ready? Does it mean that something around there has gone? Like, is it already shut up?
Yeah, it's developed lovely. I'll probably post something then later on about that development. So it's coming on really nice. For those people that have used Kumasi Airport, I never used to use Kumasi Airport. I used to obviously drive. I just don't have the balls for it anymore. The road is just pretty hectic. It's a 4 or 5 hour drive. People are driving like that. So I fly to Kumasi now.
Okay. It's
30 minutes, very simple, in and out. And yeah, that airport's coming. And I wouldn't say people have missed the boat, but again, people tend to go to Kumasi for maybe cultural reasons. If you're going on holiday to Ghana, if you're from the diaspora, you've got 2 weeks. I mean, going to Kumasi would take 3 days out of your trip. So you're having so much fun in the crowd, especially those people that go around Christmas time. Yeah. The crowd's hectic. It's like you don't want to leave because every night there's on. So unless you've got family there, a serious connect there for a reason, you wouldn't necessarily go. But yeah, I'll be spending more time in Kumasi. I'm from Ejusso, which is about 30 minutes outside Kumasi. So I go home to my family and go and pray, my hometown, all the rest of it.
Let me go back to the questions we have coming in, because they are coming in. Oh yes, this is a really good question.
Yeah, there is. It's a good question. So I think probably now I'll give a bit of insight into sort of the process. And it works like this. So the first thing is we offer people a site visit. So what does the site visit mean? You're not in Ghana and just go and spend 2-3 grand just to go to Ghana for land. I don't know if it's that sensible. We've got technology now. So we offer people a site visit with Nengi, who's in Ghana working very hard. And she goes to the site in question. She then does a video call with you and she shows you to the best of her ability the land that we have. And I charge for that. I charge because I want to invalidate time wasters, and it's obviously time, effort, and money. And I know that anybody serious will know that to pay a small drink as the start of their due diligence process, the smart people will know that it's a minor. Right. At that point, you then go to make a decision whether you want to go ahead or not. So then the really important part of the process is the due diligence. So we have another call where a customer will pick a site. I have obviously master plans for the site, and they pick a plot that their spirit connects to. And I tell the client that, look, we now need to essentially force you, but it's the right thing to do, to provide a site plan and to do a search on the plot. Okay. So once the search is done, again, for the survey and for the search, we charge an amount. That's your first upfront fees that are included in the price.
Okay.
Now, in terms of the sort of my philosophy with payments, to address the question specifically, is that I don't like people being grabalicious for funds before it's due. I believe in intellectual conviction, and for people that are, quite frankly, naive to the process, they need to be taken on a journey. And that journey, as they go along, will provide them with comfort, and their own common sense will show them that what they're paying progressively is in line with the stages they're at throughout the transaction. So we get to a point where there's various payments, the first one being in short a 25% payment, then there's another 25% payment at a particular stage, which is usually sort of 6 to 8 weeks down the line, and then there's a final 50% that is due. Now, my business decision was that if someone's paid in 50% of the purchase price, right, I know I've got a genuine customer.
Yeah.
I know I've got someone that really, really wants to own land in Ghana.
Yeah.
And at that point, my financial risk has been drastically mitigated.
Yeah.
So I offer customers that I want to offer to the option of paying the second 50% over 6 months. A monthly payment of equal installments over 6 months. Because again, I know that a lot of people want to floss on Instagram and Facebook, that they're swimming in money and they've got fast cars, eating at all the nice restaurants. But I know my people, we work really hard for our cash.
Yeah.
And sometimes cash is hard to come by.
Yeah.
It's not easy to save in this country. It's not that easy to have lumps of money. And I feel like someone that wants to help the motherland, someone that wants to help themselves, if I can, then I'll provide that option that the second 50% should be paid within the 6 month period on an equal monthly basis. That's for me, I feel like that gives people the option to aspire to dream, because again, everyone's got their financial responsibilities, to have a little bit of leeway. You know, if you're buying an asset, it's going to cost you some money. You can't get away from that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if I can provide, I'm not trying to be a bank, and I definitely do not want to be a debt collector. I want to make sure that anyone that's doing that process has the optionability, but are serious. And that's really it. So that's the current model.
Okay.
Now, that likely or possibly, again, with the counsel of my team and people that I trust, that also might change or might open it up a little bit, because so many people here, they buy cars, they buy stuff, they pay off over a longer period of time. And it's just for me to make the decision on what I want to do, whether it's a year, 2 years, what the terms would be. Again, I'm not a bank, and I definitely do not want to be chasing people. Oh, you owe money this month, that will kill me. I'm just not into that. So it depends.
Yeah. It's clear though that you are trying to give people an opportunity, real, honest, hardworking people, the opportunity to own land in Ghana. There's absolutely no doubt. So, you know, I salute, you know, your company and what you're doing. Okay, questions. Oh my goodness. All right. Okay, I'll go through all of them, but feel free to just give short answers. Because of time. Okay, so is your company able to help build a house on a property or on a land, I guess they're trying to say, they already have?
Yes. So if they've got the land, and again, I will check with the client that the land actually is theirs.
Yeah.
So I do not want to be building on land that doesn't belong to them.
Yeah.
So once I'm satisfied that the land is theirs, and if they've got their plans, fine, we can execute. If they don't have their plans, then again, we can help design for them and build. No issue. Actually, let me qualify that. So long as it's in the region, if you're sending me to Tamale, it's not going to work. So long as it's in the region that we can operate, we can do it.
Okay. Next one. We've already answered this questions. Do you sell homes as well? If you missed it earlier, just watch this back. This live will be saved, so you can listen back for anything that you've missed. What's the water security situation in the sites you were choosing?
Yeah, good question. So utilities work like this. Water, people will have to have their own poly tank. And what we do in Ghana normally is that you have water companies that come and deliver like 500 litres, which is a lot. It depends how big the house is and how much your water usage is, for like, I don't know, $12, $13. So it lasts pretty long. In most areas that are not fully developed, there's no piped water supply by the government. But the hope is that obviously as these areas fully develop, then the government will come and invest to provide water. The other issue is that so long as you're on the bottom strip of Ghana, typically you can't do boreholes because the water's salt water. Definitely in Pram is salty water. If you're in Kumasi, everybody has a borehole because the water's clean. It's fresh water. So again, unless you're doing like reverse osmosis or something, you can't. It's hard for you to bore the water out.
Okay, thank you. Is it possible to buy more than one plot?
100%. I've sold plots, met multiple plots to people. I guess there's a limit for me. If someone comes in and wants to buy a huge amount, it depends what it's for. Okay. Because I'm not going to be selling land to someone at a vast quantity and then they don't come and develop and it becomes like a wasteland and then you build plots next to it and then you're looking at open ends for forever. The question about the leases is important. If you're a Ghanaian citizen or you have a Ghanaian passport, the law dictates that you're entitled to and you should have at least up to 99 years. So depending on the master indenture, you'll be 96, 97, 99 years. If you're a foreigner, the maximum lease you can have is, the first lease is 50 years. So what I do is that for a foreigner, and most of my clients will be foreigners, they get a 50-year lease to start, right, and they get automatic obligatory extension at the end of that 50 years for an additional 45 years. Okay. And again, it's me that's going to be providing that. If God gives me the life, all my children will be here to execute that for them. Now, for a lot of us say, well, buying land, why is it not freehold lease? That is the law and that's the constitution and we do everything legally. For all intents and purposes, we believe it to be kind of like a moot point because again, leasehold is the only vehicle by which land can be sold in Ghana. Everybody that's in Ghana, every house you see when you're rolling around is leasehold. Nobody would ever buy land if they felt that, oh, on a 50-year lease, someone's going to come and chuck me out, or 100, it just doesn't really work like that. But because it's the only legal structure that exists, it's the only one that we can engage in.
Okay. All right, we have 3 minutes left. I'm going to go through some more questions. Looks like we may have to come back.
That's fine.
Thank you so much.
It's been all about land today.
Literally.
Yeah, land, culture and tourism.
Literally, but we have to give the people what they want, right?
Of course. Kosi, yeah, if you're Jamaican, you've got a Ghanaian passport, yes, you're entitled to up to 99 years. What are the average land acquisition timeframes? Again, if someone says they can sell you a piece of land within 2 weeks or a month, they're lying. On average, you're looking sort of 4 to 5 months. It depends on the process and how quick I can turn it around. We always will under promise and over deliver. I've got people at the Supreme Court, at Lands Commission. I can do things really quickly, but we want to do things right, and it's got to be managed properly. So I would say 4 months, 5 months. Okay. Next question. Can we build the property to our own spec, or do we have to choose from your designs? You do not have to choose from my design, as long as the designs and the plans are in keeping with Ghanaian architectural laws and it's fit for purpose of a building permit. You can build whatever you want within reason. And when I say within reason, some companies have this stipulation where you've got to start building within 2-3 years. When I sell land to someone, it's your land, you can do what you want with it. What I do say is this: the only stipulation I give people is that if you're going to, or you have plans to, either do a commercial building or build a house or a commercial building that's more than 3 floors, I want you to tell me up front, if you know up front, or when you're going to do it, I want you to have the respect to come and tell me, Kwabs, I want to build a 4-story building. And I will say to you, well, bro, that's cool, but Raquel's next to you, she's got a bungalow. If I let you build there, you're going to condemn her life. It's a pretty vast thing you're doing, and it's not going to be in the profile. So either I will have to relocate you, we work a deal, so I'll put you in a place where maybe I've put for larger buildings or commercial buildings, but that's my foresight and my planning to make sure that people, when they invest, they've got an element of courtesy and respect for the neighbours. It's not for me to dictate to people, you can't build this, you can't build that. But I've got to also think about other people. In terms of commercial, again, if you buy a plot and then a brother comes and wants to put a welder's yard next to you, I don't really like that, because it's going to be popping off every day, the noise, the dirt. It's not really cool. Again, we put you in a place which is going to be more for commercial people.
Okay, so guys, we have spent enough time on, you know, land matters, right? We want to cover some other topics. If you have any further questions on land, get in touch with Asasi directly. You know, they have a form that you can fill in on their website. So go and check them out. If you have any further questions on land, please, let's try and get some further information and knowledge from the amazing Kwabena Asai Martin. So it's quite clear, Kwabs, the way that you run your business, that there is real spirit behind it. You know, there are traditions and customs that you're upholding. You know, you're not just here to make money. For you, you know, there is purpose, you know, behind it. So can you please just, you know, tell us more about, you know, the importance of upholding traditions, you know, customs, and, you know, keeping the spirit alive, particularly in your business?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, first and foremost, like what I see, what you see, that's like an illusion. Yeah, we have this physical flesh type thing, but it's not real. Yeah, that passes and that fades. But what lives forever is spirit. Everything that comes out of my mouth, everything that comes in, this is a spirit. And spirit and energy, you can't destroy it. It just moves around from different people, namely our ancestors. You know? Yes, and I'm sure it's the same with the guys in the airways, is that you're named after somebody, and usually you're named after someone to emulate. So we have our customs, we have our traditions. They served us really well for millennia. Then it was interrupted, and there's been a progression into lots of different other things. And I just feel that one of the things that makes Africa amazing is the fact that we go deep, we go real deep. We're the original people on this planet. And I think that if there's any a concept of an interaction with a supreme being, then we would have had that first sort of notion of what that is. So I just feel like for all the work and effort my grandparents and great-grandparents put into my grandparents and my parents, and what my parents have put into me and my brothers, I feel that it would be wholly wrong to wake up in London and think that you can just put that to one side. I think that it doesn't do justice by them. I feel like, in a way, slightly disrespectful to them. And I feel like one of the things that has always sort of walked before me in my career and my life is that my friends and associates from all different parts of this world always respect me because they know I walk in my Africanness. They know that I'm unshakable in the fact that I'm proud to be a black man, and I'm proud to be African. I take effort to educate them about the realities of our world and our community. I take effort to explain to them what we accept and what we don't accept. So tradition is really important. You know, everyone's different, but there's some things we should uphold because our ancestors had a reason for these things. And, you know, in this world, you can't understand everything. Yeah, sometimes, you know, as you grow, a lot of the stuff our parents told us when we were younger, we never really understood. But now we're adults and we're growing. We see that so much of what they told us, that wisdom, actually is true. It comes to pass. Sometimes we don't like it. We don't want to accept it. But in the last days, we'll know that so much of it is true. So I feel like to be African is the greatest thing in the world. It's beautiful. Our culture is amazing. All the African cultures, I'm sure they're so deep, they're so rich, they're so old. And you know, we have so many challenges in this world and so many battles. One of them is the appreciation of culture and upholding of it. You can't do it like one of the pictures you had for the promotion of me wearing my cloth. Obviously, it's October now, it's cold. If I wear that to like Aldi or whatever, because I shop at Aldi, I'm living the dream shopping at Aldi. It's not appropriate, no? But if I'm coming and speak to my people, at least I can wear an African shirt, it's okay. Do you know what I mean? Or I can wear a white Zara shirt if I want, that's also okay. But the point is, New Africa, as Maggie has said, New Africa is here. And the new African man and woman is proud to be African. Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, we're proud to be African. It's like that for me is the first sign of someone's class. If I ask a Jamaican, where are you from? And they tell me I'm African, I know that person's of the highest caliber of his nation, because we have our nations all over the world. America has the black nation, the black African nation. Yeah, Audi is lit. Great value. Yeah, and let's embrace it. So yeah, that's it. But I would say that in terms of sort of culture and spirituality or religion, one thing I love about Ghana is that it's protected in the constitution. Not everyone can be the same. Not everyone thinks the same. And Ghana, I think, makes good effort to make sure that people's religious beliefs are respected. Muslims, Christians, people that believe in their own religions and cultures, they live happily with each other. And long should that live, because no man is an island and nobody's seen God. So let us just embrace each other, and those people that want to embrace their own thing, let them do that.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And that is one of the things I'm so proud about being a Ghanaian, that we are so different, and yet we live in peace and in harmony with one another. And we're known to be, I believe, the most peaceful nation in Africa.
One of them,
right?
Yeah, one of them. I think Africa's a pretty peaceful place. I mean, since certain people have been preoccupied with certain things and stopped poking their nose into other people's affairs, like Africa's started to be a little bit calm. There's some skirmishes in different places. Even in Ghana, we have them. That's fine, it happens. But generally, the past sort of 15 years-ish, things are calming down. Even the places like Rwanda and Congo, where the blood has been spilled, people have woken up and realized that this was a ridiculous stain on what we were dealing with, and this halted progression. And in the case of Rwanda, it's now inspired them to take the step up to start developing their nation. So yeah, it's all good. Tradition is important. Important. Yeah.
Can you share some traditions, some customs? Can you educate?
I guess obviously I mentioned about the naming. You know, when a child comes to this world, or when a spirit comes to this world, then we name our children, and we name them, a lot of time we name them after our parents, or usually it might be a grandparent, and we name the person after someone that we hope to emulate with good character. I think that's a beautiful thing. A name is really important in this world, to have a name, to love your name, because your name represents what got you here in the first place. So that's pretty cool. Another snippet is this whole thing about when people marry, whether they take in the Santi culture anyway, whether they take the husband's name or not. I used to give out that, oh, women should take the husband's name, blah, blah, blah. But more recently I learned, like my grandma, she never took my grandfather's name. Like, our women kept their own name. They came from their own family. That was pretty interesting for me to learn.
Wow.
We have a nation, we call it the Akan people, which are obviously Cote d'Ivoire, they're in Ghana, they're in Togo. We're all one mother nation, and then within that we have the various tribes, sort of Fanti and Asante. But even within that Asante, we have clans, and the clans are, there's like 7 clans. I'm from the Kwabena clan. And basically everyone from the same clan essentially comes from the same woman, from the same mother. So historically, if you're from the same clan as an individual, you shouldn't marry that person from the same clan, because you share the same bloodline. Now, people would say, why was that? Like my dad, for example, he wouldn't be able to, my dad's an Asuna. And he wouldn't be able to marry another Asuna back in the day, because now we know genetics. If you mix blood too close, it's like an incest thing. If you mix blood too close, it's not a good look. That we can keep doing it. So maybe that was our reason for doing it. All the clans have totem animals that represent the characteristics of that clan. So in my case, again, with the Asantes, we're from our mother's family. If you're a true Asante, you've got nothing to do with your father's family. Your father's family is your father's family. Your family is your mother's family, because your mother gave birth to you. But you take your soul from your dad's side. Your soul comes from your dad's side, but your blood comes from your mum's side, because obviously we know, again, through science now, the whole way a baby grows in the mother's womb is the blood. So you come from your mother's side. So my mum's an Akwana, so therefore I'm an Akwana. Our totem animal is the bull. The bull has certain characteristics. sort of strength and power. We were the original house builders back in the day, probably 300, 400, 500, 600 years ago. So that's a pretty cool thing. Obviously, in the Santi tradition, one of the big sort of objects in our culture is the stool. You know, I'm sure you've heard the story of the golden stool, which our religious leader brought down from our heaven, Samanadzi. We don't have hell. There's no concept of hell in Akan theology. You either live your life in a decent way and become a revered ancestor, or you don't. You don't go to hell. There's no concept of it. And the stool is so important because we call the stool an ornate object. An ornate object is something that when man was first made, or when man first appeared, one of the first things he knew he needed was somewhere to sit. And you needed to see, you can't just walk the earth. And the first thing was this stool that was made for someone to sit and rest. So the stool, we say, houses our soul again in that stool. So all my children have got their stools. They've got their stools, and everyone should have a stool. Every family in Ghana, and I'm sure it's across all of the tribes, but definitely in the Asantes, have shrine. They have a shrine. Again, these shrines were usually stools. These were shrines that every 6 Sundays, or we call it Akwasi Day. Even now still, if you go to Kumasi, if you ever travel to Ghana, you go to Kumasi, you should look online and find a festival called Akwasi Day. It's a day where everyone's allowed to go to the palace, the king's palace. Not a chief, he's a king. You can go to his palace and observe the culture, but families were mandated to go and pour libation on their shrines. These are things that provided them with spiritual power and spiritual protection in the years for millennia. So, but over the years, many families, for various reasons, sometimes because maybe they followed another culture or another religion, have condemned these shrines and said to themselves it's juju or whatever, and thrown them away. So there's very few families that have the shrine. But I'll encourage all Ghanaians, definitely the Asantes, I'm sure the Fantis as well, ask your mum. Well, firstly, if you're a Santi, you have to understand that culturally wise, you're part of your mum's family. It's 2020 now, so you're like you both, but your mum's family technically. And you ask your mum what clan she belongs to. When you see the clan, you'll then be able to identify the animal, the totem animal. And so often, it's like the horoscopes. You will see your personality in this animal that you have the crow, you have a dog, there's a few. And yeah, that's it.
Amazing. Thank you so much. It's been super insightful session. I definitely think we're going to have a part 2 in the near future.
Cool. Because
you know, you have a wealth of knowledge and information. I know there's even so much more that you could pour out. I would like us to end with some quick fire questions so that we can get to know you a bit more on a lighter note.
Cool.
So let's get the quick fire questions up. Okay. First thing that comes to mind. Don't think about it too long.
Oh God, here we go.
Okay. Favorite Ghanaian dish?
Fufu.
Yeah.
With peanut butter soup.
Yes. Okay.
And with two boiled eggs and about 3 pieces of meat. Yeah.
Love it. If there was one thing you could bring to Ghana that isn't there already, what would it be?
Enlightenment.
Wow, that's deep. That's deep.
Enlightenment.
Okay.
Enlightenment.
All right. Okay. Sugar cane or the Black Star chocolate?
The Black Star chocolate.
Yes. Yep. Love it. Okay. Favorite Ghanaian drink?
A petishi. Yeah. Because you know what it is now, yeah? When you get older, I drink. And when you get older, you can't handle volumes of alcohol anymore. You just get absolutely wasted. So what we tend, the big boys now, when we start a night, we want to hit it hard. And the petishi is the white, you hit that, and then you're ready to go. And then you can limit your drinks afterwards. So yeah, petishi's good.
Okay, if you won $1 million tomorrow, what would you do with it?
invest some, spend some. I wouldn't spunk it all quick. It's like, yeah, invest some, spend some, yeah, and just treat the people around me, my family. Yeah, it's like I'm a very simple person. What gives me joy is not the things, it's not the material things. Like this gives me joy, being with other spirits. I like hanging out with people. Yeah, I probably, if I get a pass from the missus, assuming Corona wasn't here, I'll probably do a big one in Ibiza or something with the boys.
Oh yeah.
Big one. Well, actually, let me correct that. I'll do it in Lagos. That's even better. I'll spend my money with my own people.
I love that. I love that. Okay. Well, that's it. That brings us to the end of our live.
I'm gonna leave a small little gem, a couple of things in terms of like reading material. This book is called Inyansa Sem. Inyansa is mentality.
Okay.
In tree philology, we say like you're born with it. But this is by a scholar called Malumo Baruti. This is awesome. So every day you have these revolutionary type snippets, and Inyansa Sem is great. The second one is also, this is for the brothers. It's called Asafo. Asafo is a region in Kumasi, but Asafo really means it's the soldiers of the nation. Like we used to protect all of our areas. And then this is also by Baruti, and it's like a guide for manhood. I'll put this in the post later on. It's called Asafo.
Thank you.
For the Asantes, this book by an English guy actually called Rattray, one of the first sort of people to go in and document some of our cultures. I'll always advise you go to Kumasi. One of the best bookshops in the world is in Kumasi Airport. I got that from here. And the last one, which is me, and I see one of my friends Myers on this, is this manuscript here.
Wow.
This is called Revelation. It's a proper mammoth. Again, this guy called Nana Abrokwa. He lives in Germany. He's an etymologist, and what he's done is he's researched the origin of all the names of our towns, some of the names of our people, and he traces it back to a place in northeast Africa called Israel. Because again, those people understand how the world is laid out, understands that Israel is part of Africa. It's only a sliver of water called the Suez Canal that separates it. And this book, Maya has this one. This book is just, this is ridiculous. This was mind-boggling. You can't even really read it. But this book of Revelation is solid. And as I did when I did my last, or my first IG live, because I won't be doing many. I've got one with a brother, very, very powerful spirit called Duan next weekend. But I won't be doing many because I believe in doing the work and let's talk. But I'm going to read the African Pledge, which is a pledge for people around the world that have a appreciation for Africanness. And it goes like this. This is called the African Pledge. Oh, I'm probably going to do this on every call. And it says, we will remember the humanity, glory and suffering of our ancestors and honor the struggle of our elders. We will strive to bring new value and new life to our people. We will have peace and harmony amongst us. We will be loving, sharing and creative. We will work, study and listen so we may learn. Learn so we may teach. We will cultivate self-reliance. We will struggle to resurrect and unify our homeland. We will raise many children for our nation. We will have discipline, patience, devotion and courage. We will live as models to provide new direction for our people. We will be free and self-determining. We are African people. We will win.
Yes. Yes.
We're winners, baby.
Yes. I love that.
Cheers, Raquel. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Just before I let you go, where can people find you in case they've come on from our page? Where can they find you, Kwabena?
Well, I think Asasi on Instagram. We put most of the work at the moment, and we're learning most through Instagram. We have a Facebook page which we developed. We have a YouTube account which has some of the videos. The videos, we try and make them touch people. But Asasi on Instagram is a cool place. Our website, clearly, you know, there's some risk with building up a following on Instagram. I think anyone that's got half a brain will know why. So we're encouraging people, and even if you're not ready, let us have your details. We will always use it respectfully and appropriately.
Yeah.
And then we can keep in contact with you. So the website is a site that will develop more and more. I have my own personal page, which is like a bit semi-expression of my spirit. There's various things on there about everything, I hope. And then, yeah, my spirit is everywhere at the end of the day, as is yours. And that's it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been such an honor to have you here today and to break bread with you. I've learned so much.
Thank you.
To everybody watching, if you have any questions about anything that has been said today, feel free to reach out to us. You can send us an email at info@ghana-365.com, or you can DM us. You've also been given Kwab's details. Please make sure to follow us on Instagram and visit our website www.ghana-365.com to find out the best places to eat, sleep, and live in Ghana.
That's such an important point, because one of the reasons I agreed to do this with you guys is you and your team are making such a great effort with everything you're doing to put this positive narrative out there about Ghana. Your page and what you're trying to do with your website, introducing people, because again, a lot of people go to Ghana, they don't know where to start. So then to find someone like you where they're able to go and see the places that maybe for hotels, restaurants, social, and I know you're building up now the list of partners that you can offer people that when they go to Ghana, they've got even down to drivers. I know you have planned to do that, places to stay. Again, we go for a lot of entertainment. There's places there. When I'm in Ghana, if I want to go somewhere new, I go to your site. So I really want to say thank you to you guys. I mentioned on the post, we're all the same team, we're just different positions. And I think the position that Ghana 365 is playing is incredible. So I definitely encourage people to follow you guys. It's very inspirational. It's high quality imagery. It's really polished. And I just want to say a big thank you to you, to Kobe, to Fabian, all the soldiers in your team for doing what you're doing, because it's all part of the wider struggle, and we appreciate you.
That's it. Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot, and I know the team will really appreciate that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right. So look forward to catching up again soon.
Yes. Take care.
All right. Have a lovely week, everyone. My name is Bye.